What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Infinite Gains again with another GME and AMC update. Yeah, before we get into the video, yeah, it sucks, man. We had a dump, and these type of days, aren't the best. They sting. They sting for sure. But it is part of the game, and you got to roll with the punches, man. And you got to have a strategy that, kind of implements these kind of days. And I'm not here. I'm trying to like help you guys out. I'm not here for like a I told you so moment or some crap like that. But I will pull out the receipts. I will pull out the receipts because I did warn you guys like 2 weeks ago. Then I warned you guys another video like 3 days ago. But it hurts me too, man, because I have a position in AMC and GME too. So it hurts me as well. So it's not days like this aren't fun, but it's part of the game. And you don't panic, you don't freak out and like, oh man, my portfolio tanked, oh gosh, man, like that. Okay, it sucks, yeah, it does, but I mean, you had a dump here too, like you were probably freaking out here, you were probably freaking out here, and now you're freaking out again. So it's just part of the game, man. It's part of the game, and it happens. But they're not gonna make this easy. They're not gonna make this easy, and as I said, like in my last video, it's like, hey, they may try to slip it a little bit below the trend line and then push it back up, like right back above the trend line, and then start pumping from there. Because it's part of the game. They bait bulls, they bait bears into entering a position, and then they screw them over. And they do this on repeat. They try to collect option premiums. They try to do an IV crush. They destroy your IV. They destroy your options values, and they try to scare you. But you got to understand the thesis, and you gotta be confident in your position. But yeah, before I get in the rest of the video, yeah, I am kind of sick today, so my voice is a little bit off. I'm like running a fever and all that type of stuff, so that's great. But I just wanted to put a video out because it has been a few days, and I know people probably want an update, and I understand. But so AMC, yeah, we're on this trend line. We're holding up, so we're fine. If you want to slip below and go to 430, that would probably be my lowest. I really don't see it going below 430. That to me would be a little bit peculiar. I wouldn't say that it's not 100% possible, but 430 hitting that 100 SMA probably my lowest, man, on AMC. And here's a good point. Here's a great balance point. You got that little wick under. You're kind of building support at the end of the day. So let's have a strong day tomorrow and Friday. Let's get through this mud. Let's get back up to that 200 SMA, because that's been giving us trouble. But this is actually better. It may seem like, dang, like my portfolio tanks, like crap, man, but this is actually better because you're getting rejected from this like 570-ish area 4 times. Actually probably more than that if you count over here, right, and here. So that's like 6 times you have a rejection. And like, let's just count this one here too, like whatever, that's 6, 7. Like, you're getting rejected so many times, and you come back down here, you grab liquidity, you dump into a liquidity zone, and then you come back up to retest this 570, and you have enough liquidity, you have enough people holding, you have enough new buyers where you're pushing through the 200 SMA, and then you're off to the races. And I'm telling you, once that 570-ish, once that $6 range breaks, you're probably free, man. You're probably free to run. So that's AMC. Let's go over to GME. GME, yeah, it can come down back down to this channel. As you can see here, in this channel, we actually hit it multiple times, but right before the run up, you do see this. So that is kind of interesting. Maybe we come back down and test this channel like $22, $21. If you do kind of zoom in on the GME chart, let's see here. Let's go to GME. GameStop. Let's go over here. Okay, don't want that. But so you do have these kind of conflicting trend lines. It's kind of messy. You can't really get a clear story, like the most clear story. You can kind of like have a trend here. Okay, well, this is kind of a trend where like you gap up above the trend line to start your run. You come back down, test it, you kind of fall below, test it, gap up again, test it. You're testing it multiple times, so it does kind of give validity. and then you do recently fall below it, and you kind of have this dump. So there is kind of a little bit of validity to this trend line here. But you do have another point here where you have 2 points, and that could be like a net. So it's like a net. It can, once you break down from this trend, okay, boom, you get caught at this like $22 level, and then you bounce, or you could just try to make your way back up to the trend line and break out that way. I think this is gonna be very interesting next 2 days. Hey, maybe not. Maybe we just trade sideways, man. Like, hedgies are very good at this. Hedgies are very, very, very good. Market makers are very good at this. They have $1 million algos. They have quants, man. Looking at this, are like, hey, a ton of people have options expiring this week. Let's do an IV ramp. Let's do an IV crush, and let's destroy all their options, man. Let's like spread fear. Let's do all this stuff. So they're very good at this. That's why I'm kind of like almost against, having dates, having like time frames, like it's gonna happen this time. It's, yeah, it kind of builds hype. It does kind of rally your kind of base around, like, you kind of do get excited, but then you have days like this and it really does suck. But yeah, looking at this, I mean, you do kind of have this kind of bear flag. So you have this as your pole, then this is your kind of bear flag, and you're making the bear flag actually on this trend line. And then when you fall through, you're actually gonna have the same, let's just say you have the same distance as here. So we're gonna take this, then boom, put it here. So that actually takes you to the next trend line. That actually takes you to $22. So if you do complete this little bear flag type thing, yeah, you could dip even further to 22. That's probably my lowest. Like, you're probably not going to go below that. I mean, I would be buying there, in my opinion. It's not financial advice, but that would be another buy zone. So that, like, you gotta make buy zones on your chart. You gotta have a plan. You gotta be like, hey, if it dips down here, I'm gonna add another whatever to my portfolio. Like, you don't want to YOLO your entire portfolio at one time. You don't want to just YOLO in weeklies or something like that. You want to diverse your portfolio. You want to try to cost average in. You want to try to like buy every single dip, try to time it, create buy zones, spread your options out if you do have options. If you're just a shareholder, just try to average down. But like, have a strategy, man. Like, be prepared for days like this, because they will happen. I mean, you got to think, like, this from here to here was a 73% drop. You know what I'm saying? So if you're still holding, if you're not scared of a 72% drop, like, this is a 25% drop, even down to $22. So let's calm down. Let's get our composure, and we're fine, man. We're fine. We're still good. This thesis is still correct. It's just, it does stink. It does suck, man. Days like this suck, but it happens. So that's AMC and GME. Let's go to Nvidia. So Nvidia, you can go back again to my last video. I said, okay, whoa, we dumped, and now we're finding resistance at this midline. And I was making the video around right here. And I said, okay, well, you do have this gap. And I was saying, this isn't preferable, right? If you want to continue a dump, it's not preferable to have a gap on your 4-hour chart. Does this exist on the weekly? Let me check the weekly. Okay, so that gap doesn't actually exist on the weekly, but it does exist on your 4-hour. Which is what I was looking at the time. And I was like, okay, well, you may come, so you're going to come down. I said, you may slip back up, hit this SMA and fill the gap, and then you're going to continue back down, right? And you're going to get a rejection. I was saying, hey, this 117 area is a point of interest. If we fall through this SMA, you're probably going to go to the bottom of this channel, and then the next 100 SMA at $102. My final target is all the way at this 200 SMA. So it may do something like this and probably break below this 200 SMA, hit this channel around like high 70s or something like that. But I'm overall pretty bearish on Nvidia. You are breaking below its SMA, probably heading down to its 100. But that was a pretty good call. I mean, it worked out. I mean, I think I've been doing a pretty good job on Nvidia. All of my updates, and yeah, Nvidia's a beast, but it can't go up forever. Can't go up forever, man. So that's kind of my plan. Yeah, we do have another 4-hour gap. Maybe you come back up and retest this midline and go back down, but you don't necessarily have to fill gaps. You don't necessarily. I think you are probably going to target this gap at least at 95, like at least fall back to that 95, which is kind of around this 100 SMA here as well. So yeah, markets did dump, probably pulled GME and AMC down. SPY had a very bad day. This is its daily, a gap down, went all the way down to $541. So I think that was actually one of the largest down days in over a year or something like that. So that's probably not the best, and it unfortunately does affect the rest of the market. Maybe it doesn't affect small caps as much, but it does. I mean, it really does have an effect because people might be pulling their money out of the markets because yields are pumping. You do have this kind of head and shoulder pattern here. Let me take this off and just delete that. You can just pretty obviously see that it's a head and shoulder pattern. So that is bullish. You are at horizontal resistance, so you might be able to break and shoot up again. So yields are looking bullish. That's your 10-year yield. That's your 30-year yield, literally making the same head and shoulder pattern. So yields are looking bullish. Market is looking bearish. It's going to drag down the video, obviously, but may drag down small caps a little bit more. But you got to think, Volkswagen short squeeze happened during a bear market, so anything's possible. And the overall market doesn't necessarily mean anything. But you got to be on your toes, and you got to be looking at stuff. And I do think that we're still in a great position for AMC and GME. I'm not scared again. Like, this just happens. I mean, it's just part of trading, and you got to roll with the punches. And that's just it. So I'm gonna try to make more videos. I'm gonna try to get some rest first. I'm tired. I have a fever and all that stuff. But obviously, I wanted to make a video for you guys. And probably gonna feel better tomorrow. Make another video or something. I do kind of feel bad. I need to try to put out a video every single day, like to update you guys. Somebody was saying that in my Discord. So yeah, I mean, make sure to join my Discord, man. So you can give me feedback. You can say what's on your mind or something like that. Something I can improve on or something. If you want me to go over a certain crypto, if you want me to go over a certain stock, like just come in the Discord and be like, hey, make a video on this, and I'll probably do it for you. So that's the whole video. Like, we're still fine. Maybe a little bit more bleed comes, but I mean, we're still in a good position, guys. Like, we're still good. AMC's at 471 right now, post market, after market. So we're still fine. We're still kicking. And I know days like this sucks, but it is what it is. So that's the whole video. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to join the Discord, stuff like that, so we can chat. And that's all. So thanks, guys.